Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Rundown. I will be your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. And today, well, let's just say it's Monday Fun Day.
I stop what you're doing, cause I'm about to ruin the image of me that you're used to. I look money, a king bee making honey, see? Each state, I hope you're ready for me. Now gather round, I'm the new sheriff in town. All my people rise up and stand your ground. Now drink up all the Diet Coke you got on your shelf. So just let me introduce myself. My name is Trump D. I like my mashed potatoes lumpy. Fake news, oh how I like to punk thee. That little sniper on the slope tin, he took a shot but he missed me. I don't fall, y'all, I'm like the ever ready bunny. Still going strong and spunky. So put on your big boy pants. Come on, let's do the dance.
The Trumpy dance is your chance to do the Trump.
Come on, do the Trumpty Trump. Come on and do the Trumpty Trump. Check me out, y'all. We do the Trumpty Trump. Just watch me do the Trumpty Trump. Do you know what I'm doing? We do the Trumpty Trump. Come on, everybody do the Trumpty Trump. It's time to do the Trumpty Trump. Yeah.
That's right, folks. We're doing the Trumpty Trump on this fine Monday morning because, well, it's fun. And that's what's so funny about all of this, the whole Trump dance and everything. Like, you see guys in the NFL do it. You see guys in college football do it. You see guys in the UFC doing it. Here's the deal, folks. It ain't because they love Trump. Some of them do. So a lot of them do. And it's not that they love politics or that they're right wing. But here's the thing. It's fun. And they enjoy having fun. And Donald Trump is fun. And as long as people enjoy having fun, then why not do it, right? Right. It's all good. It's all a good time. Being Republican, or at least being a Trump supporter, being Donald Trump is cool now. And, you know, some folks just don't like that. Oh, well. All right, folks. Hey, for those of you who are watching us at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, which means you are watching us live, which means we are taking your comments. We're on YouTube. We're on YouTube. We're on Rumble. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. And by the way, to the dudes who has stolen my Twitter account, I am working to try and get my Twitter account back. I'm going to get it back. Here's what's funny. So all of a sudden I get this email that, you know, I didn't open it right away, but I get this email that says, yeah, your email address has been changed. Now, I thought I had set up two-factor authentication, but in any case, so someone changed my email. Then I go in to log in and see what it got changed to. Sure enough, I can't log in. So someone had stolen my account, and it sat like that where I just couldn't log into the account. So I've been trying to work with Twitter or X to try and get my account back. And then all of a sudden, it's switched over to this Bitcoin account. Hold on, let me show you here. See if I can find it here for you. Let's see if I can view it. Oh, so now it says Craig DeLuz doesn't exist anymore. But it's a Bitcoin. Here we go. This is it right here. So this is what the account now looks like. And I know it's my account. And I can't get anyone over at Twitter to do anything to help me out here. I know it's my account because, well, I still have access through a couple of apps that I use to send stuff out, like the one that I use for my live streaming. So as you see, it says here, bitcoinrecovery.co. First of all, there are a bunch of freaking hackers that stole my account. Number one. Number two, they've got like my 3,300 followers, right? They've stolen my 3,300 followers. So here you are. Here you see, here I am live. I even have it through another account that I do other posting stuff through. We'll still have access to the account through that. So here it is. There it is right there. As you can see, account has been hacked. I've made it a point to let them know. And yet and still got nothing. I still can't get anyone over at Twitter. And when you go way further down, hold on, wait, where's it at? Yeah, you see how they posted all these things because they're trying to get me out of they're trying to get me out of things. So when you get all the way down here, all of a sudden, here's me. Wait, none of these are me. Yeah, none of these are me. Okay, here we go. Then you start getting into stuff that I was posting. Way. No, not even there. I take that back. Anyway, the point being is that all of this stuff looks like me. So they impersonated me for a while until they set up, or I don't know what they did. They sold the account or whatever it was that they did. But anyway, so Those of you who do not have two-factor authentication on your accounts, I will warn you now, do it, do it, do it. Otherwise, you will wind up in a situation very much like me where I am fighting with the folks over at X because they're like, well, you can't verify who you are because you don't have access to the email. Well, duh, I don't have access to the email. Yeah, I kind of told you that, right? I kind of told y'all that. Anyway, we're working on it though. If you feel like you want to tag X and send a message to X and let them know, hey, give Craig his account back, you know, I would appreciate that. Anyway, we're going to have a good time though today, nonetheless. Feel free to go ahead and once again comment. We are still taking your comments. Whether you agree with us or not, we enjoy the comments because, well, if you disagree with us, well, then that gives us the opportunity to mock you.
Oh, wow. Was that a mockingbird?
Man, is that a mockingbird? Is that a mockingbird?
Yep, gives us the opportunity to mock you, which, by the way, is totally entertaining. At least for me, it's entertaining. But anyway, we're going to have a good time. Let's go ahead and get into today's news. But before we do, let's go ahead and start with a quick shout out to our sponsors. We're going to start with Hitman Industries. They sell rifle and pistol caliber barrels. They're available for purchase. They're available for purchase. They have them in any caliber, any length. You just go ahead and check them out today at hitmanindustries.net. Then we've got the California Republican Assembly fighting to elect conservatives at all level of government, from school board all the way up to President of the United States. Right now, we got a big, huge fight. Big thanks to Prop 50 passing in California. We got a lot more competitive districts. We got some Republican districts that weren't competitive that are now competitive. And we've got some Democrat districts that weren't competitive that are now competitive. So we really need your help. The CRA could really use your help in order to make sure we elect some good conservatives. Check them out at cragop.org. That's cragop.org. And then you've got the best in concealed carry tactical holsters that are available on the market. You will find them at hogholsters.com. That's HAWG holsters.com. Why is it spelled different? Because it stands for Helping Americans Wear Guns. Go to their website today at hogholsters.com. Get your hog holster getting a discount. Make sure you get a discount. Just use the discount code to the rundown, just like it is right up there. All caps, one word. Wait, there it is right there. Just like it is right up there. All caps, one word, and you can get your hog holster on discount today. And then finally, if you need gear, if you need any sort of tactical gear, go to the place where you can find all things tactical except the gun. That would be uscombatgear.com. They have a huge selection. They specialize in group pricing, and they have the best customer service available on the market. Check them out today, uscombatgear.com. All right, let's dig into this first story of the day. A Democrat judge, and I make sure to point this out because one of the things that's been very, very interesting about all of these rulings, right? You can pretty much have a good idea how a judge is going to rule based on who appointed them. If they were appointed by a Democrat, which means they were appointed by either Bill Clinton, if they were appointed by Barack Obama, or if they were appointed by Joe Biden, then there's a good chance they're going to rule against the administration, against Republicans. There's a good chance they're going to rule for the communists, for lack of a better term. But in this particular case, you had two cases, obviously, that were filed. I called them the Jameses because you have former FBI Director James Comey, and then you also had the Attorney General for the state of New York, Letitia James. Both of their cases have been dismissed. That's right. They've been dismissed by a judge. Once again, a judge right there in New York City. Get a rope. Yeah. That's who has in fact thrown the cases out. Let me see here. It says here, judge dismisses cases against ex-FBI Director James Comey and against AG Tish James. A federal judge dismissed the Virginia criminal cases against former FBI Director James Comey and New York Attorney General Letitia James on Monday, finding that interim U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan was improperly appointed to her position and had no lawful authority to secure indictments of either of Trump's longtime adversaries. The humiliating defeat for the administration case came 11 days after attorneys for both Comey and James had argued that Halligan had to be confirmed by the Senate after Attorney General Pam Bondi used up her allotted 120-day interim appointment on Eric Siebert, who resigned September 19th after Trump publicly criticized him for not bringing charges against the former head of the FBI. After Siebert's departure, Comey's attorneys argued that judges of the federal court district should have had exclusive say over who got to fill the vacancy. Uh, Instead, Trump nominated Halligan while publicly imploring Bondi in a social media post to take action against Comey, James, and Senator Adam Schiff, saying in September 20 Truth Social post that justice must be served now. Both indictments were dismissed without prejudice, which typically means the cases can be brought again. Both defendants had asked that the case be thrown out with prejudice, preventing them from being reopened. However, in the ruling, senior district judge Cameron Curry comes after the expiration of the 5-year statute of limitations against Comey, likely meaning the case against him cannot be reopened. So, in other words, um, it gets thrown out on a technicality, which, by the way, and I'm still wondering why. Well, first of all, a couple of things. Number one, um, I from the very beginning, and I've said this, and Mike disagreed with me, but I've never really been particularly impressed with Pam Bondi. I don't think, first of all, when she was Attorney General there in Florida, she was responsible and was one of the leaders in some really anti-gun stuff. Now she may have just been capitulating to the whims of the electorate at the time because of the Stoneman Douglas high school shooting. But in the end, she made some bad decisions. Period. And she's tried to whitewash it all and try to pretend like she didn't, but she did. I'm still waiting for all of this action she's supposed to be taking against on the Second Amendment, and she hasn't. The way in which she handled the Epstein files, or supposed, I'm going to be releasing the files. I have them right there on my desk, and turns out that there was nothing new there. As far as I'm concerned, she has been an abysmal failure. I don't know what else to tell you. I think she has been a horrible attorney general. Pretty much, she's been about as good as I thought she would be. Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. She's the best thing about her is that well, she'll do whatever Trump tells her. That's really about it. Now, whether or not she'll do it properly is a whole different story, and that's where we're at right now. Is that clearly she's screwing up, and in some of these cases, and in this particular case, Comey may get off. He may get off because of the statute of limitations. Because if the statute of limitations uh, fails. I mean, if we lose, then basically you can't bring the case back up. Now, the case against Letitia James, though, whole different story. No, there is no, there at least there is no current statute of limitations to be concerned about at this moment. So at least we can hopefully see Letitia James get her just due. But there's a lot. The other problem is there are a lot of cases out there, a lot of things out there that need to be dealt with and need to be addressed. And if we can't trust her to handle it and handle it correctly, then it's time for her to step aside. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. I don't know. Maybe you disagree with me. Maybe you like Miss Bondi. But when she went, I always felt like when she went and she testified before Congress, I felt like I think it was the Senate she was testifying before. I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed for her, and I was embarrassed for the administration. I was embarrassed for the American people that was how she conducted herself. I wish she had gone back and maybe paid a little bit more attention about how Bill Barr performed when he would testify before Congress, and he kicked their butts, but he was also very kind of direct. He was right on all of the legal points that he was making. Um, Anyway, dude was a beast. You may not like him. There's a lot of things about Bill Barr there's a lot of things about Bill Barr not to like the fact that he too was anti-gun. But when it came to his representation of the office, I think he did a stellar job. In any case, um, We'll see. We'll see. I will tell you, I definitely believe we're gonna see the case come back, but, it's kinda sad, but it is what it is. All right, our next story here. X exposes rift in MAGA is being pushed by foreigners. As if we did not already know this, as if we did not know that there are foreigners out there who are pushing false narratives about what's going on here in the United States of politics. They're trying to create rifts. They're trying to create animosity here in the US. And quite frankly, it's to a certain degree, it's working. It says here Elon Musk's X begins labeling account locations, revealing MAGA divisions is being pushed by foreigners. Elon Musk's X recently rolled out a new feature that shows the location that accounts operate from. Many anonymous accounts claiming to be MAGA, yet pushing division in the conservative movement, have been exposed as operating from India, Pakistan, and other nations. Popular influencers with known identities are pointing out foreign fakers, most of which who have been claimed to be Americans for years. Elon Musk's X platform, formerly Twitter, recently rolled out a new feature for users' profiles that displays more information about accounts, including which country or region they are based in. Now, X users can go to the account's profile and click on the date that the account joined the platform, which will then take them to an about page revealing additional details. On Sunday, many X users flocked to popular anonymous accounts to check where they are located and began sharing screenshots of what they found, revealing that many of the MAGA accounts sowing division and infighting within the conservative movement are actually based in foreign nations, including India, Nigeria, and Bangladesh. Quote, who knew that an Austrian has been running a Republicans against Trump PSYOP page? This new feature has to be one of my favorite ones X has ever added. Conservative commentator Gunther Eagleman said, Watch the petty infighting stop now that foreign countries aren't pushing slop under cover of anonymity." He added, "Here we go." And so that's what they did here. Well, tell you what, let's see if this one. Let's go to the date. Let's come up here. Dun dun dun. Let's look at that. Joined. Account is based. It says it's based in the United States, but the question is, of course, that's where I based it. That's where I started from. But they have stolen it. Once again, this account has been stolen, stolen, stolen. I'm kind of bitter about this one. If you can't, in case you don't know, I want my Twitter account back. In case you guys are wondering, yeah, it bugs me. It bugs me a lot. Anyway, but now, don't get me wrong though, there is some infighting that is taking place. And a lot of it, but I think a lot of it is being driven and being amplified by these fake accounts. But you got guys like, well, you got people like Candace Owens, and you've got Tucker Carlson, who I don't know who knows, maybe there's some sort of foreign psyop now, but they're pushing narratives that are creating division within the conservative movement, and I'm not particularly fans of them. And I've never been a fan of. I'll be honest, I've never been a fan of Candace Owens. I think she says some things that are correct, but then again, a broken clock is right twice a day. I think that she is known for saying things that racists would love to say out loud, but dare not. But she says them, and they grasp onto that, and I think that's what they love. That's what she's known for. And I don't think she's necessarily known for being particularly bright, which I do believe she is. But I also believe she's about Candace Owens. Candace Owens is about getting a following. She's not about the conservative movement. I mean, I look at the way in which she basically, the way she aired all of this stuff regarding Charlie Kirk, I think is just has been just flat out wrong the way she did it. And I think that in particular, I think she is fomenting an anti-Semitic movement within the Republican Party, and I think Tucker Carlson is right there. And but he's not stopping at anti-Semitic. He's just pushing straight up racism. And when I say racism, I mean racism in that he platformed a guy, Nick Fuentes. If you've ever never heard of Nick Fuentes, I encourage you to look him up. Um, dude is dude says some of the most vile stuff that I've ever heard. At least it's a sort of stuff that doesn't have any place within the conservative movement. He's a misogynist. He is a racist, and the thing was, it wasn't so much that I didn't think that Tucker should have had him on the show. I think, but you don't bring someone on who's got those sorts of controversial positions and not challenge them on them unless you believe them, right? But then Tucker Carlson, I mean, he didn't challenge Putin. He doesn't challenge. There are certain people he will challenge. He'll challenge conservatives like he did Ted Cruz, and basically, I would say, misrepresent what he is saying, misrepresent what Ted Cruz, misrepresented what Ted Cruz was saying and what Ted Cruz believes. So he'll misrepresent a conservative, but he won't even call out a Nick Fuentes on something that's just kind of obvious. He won't even call out a Putin on something obvious. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm getting off topic. All I will say is this: is if I don't like either one of them. And so yeah, there is a rift, and this new racist, misogynistic, and anti-Semitic move, or I don't even know what to call it, that's building up within the Republican Party. All I will say is this: is that I'm calling it out, and I think I'm not saying that everybody needs to call it, but when you see it, if it's around you and you don't say anything, then I'm going to assume that you agree with it. Let me just make that very clear. If I see it next to you, if I see you with one of them and you're platforming one of them, I will at least give you the opportunity. I'll say, hey, are you down with that? Because if you aren't, you better say something. And if you are, then you and I got problems, right? That's my attitude. If you're down with some of that crap, then that's on you. Anyway, I got way off topic right here. Anyway, but yeah, so there's not as much of a rift within the Republican Party as many people want to believe. So there you go. That's kind of the long and the short of it is, it's a bunch of foreigners stirring up controversy there. That's what we got going on. That's what the rift of that, the whole point of that story is. Let's talk about gun buyback, shall we? I know you guys are all you guys all enjoy and believe so much in the concept of gun buybacks. Why wouldn't Canada have a gun buyback? I mean, it makes a lot of sense, right? Right? I mean, obviously they work, don't they? No, wait, what are you saying? You're saying they don't work? Oh, well, how do we know that? I'm glad you asked. This piece written by our friend Mr. Cam Edwards over at Bearing Arms. First test of Canada's buyback scheme looks like a resounding failure. In early October, Canada's Liberal government kicked off its long-delayed compensation confiscation efforts with a test run in Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. The goal of the buyback effort is to take thousands of lawfully purchased semi-automatic firearms from their rightful owners. While the Liberal government has called the scheme voluntary, anyone caught possessing one of the banned firearms after the government's amnesty period expires risks criminal charges. Because of Canada's restrictive gun laws, the government had a list of 200 quote assault weapons in the Cape Breton area, as well as the names of their owners. One official expressed confidence before the pilot program began that, quote, the 200 will be collected through the pilot. But if not, then we will have to discuss with the people who are contacted to understand better what is their intention to comply with the law before the end of the amnesty order. Well, it looks like they've got a lot of discussions to schedule because according to one local official, the government didn't come close to getting 200 firearms. And this I guess this is they're quoting from Peace here. It says, when it comes to the program for individuals, the federal government has yet to release the result of the pilot program it ran in Cape Breton, which when it was announced back in September, was to be for a maximum of 200 banned firearms to test the online portal collection and destruction process. This week, the chair of Cape Breton's police board told reporters that he had heard there were between 10 and 22 collected. Oh, that's hilarious. A request for response from Cape Breton police teamed up with Public Safety Canada to pilot the program has yet been returned. Cape Breton Police Chief Robert Walsh declined to tell local reporters this week the results of the program, saying it was in the federal government's pilot. Um, I'm really looking forward to hearing what people have to say about this. I'm going to guess, and maybe I'm just guessing. I'm guessing what you're probably going to hear is, um, "Oh, I'm sorry, my dog ate my gun," or "Oh yeah, no, I lost that gun in a boating accident." "Oh, you know what? That gun was stolen." Yeah, I'm willing to bet that people are not going to give up their lawfully purchased property. And it's kind of funny because they call it voluntary. So in other words, where you can volunteer to turn it in. In other words, so that they don't come confiscate it, then it's not voluntary. If you are requiring them to give it up, it's not it's called a gun seizure. It's called seizing firearms. And I'll tell you right now, there are tons of people that would love to have that take place right here, right here in the United States of America. They would love to see guns get confiscated. Well, I'll tell you what, there are people out there who also have the attitude that, yeah, you can come take their guns. In fact, they'll give them to you one round at a time. That ain't me. I'm not calling for it. I'm not saying to do it. I'm just saying there are people out there, and that is their attitude. If I'm lying, I'm frying. But I don't think I am. I think those people exist. And anyway, y'all just be careful out there. All right, moving right along. Let's see, what do we have here? Oh, Pentagon may investigate Senator Kelly over illegal orders video. Now, this is an interesting one because uh, what they're looking to do is the Pentagon is actually considering that it may recall Mr. Kelly back into service so that they can court martial him over illegal orders video. Let's read. This is a piece over at CNN. It says the Pentagon said Monday that it was investigating Democratic Senator Mark Kelly, a U.S. A retired U.S. Navy captain, in light of serious allegations of misconduct. The department has received against him and could even recall him to active duty to face court martial or administrative punishment. And the investigation comes as President Donald Trump has been pushing relentlessly for consequences for Kelly and five other Democratic lawmakers over the video they made, reminding service office members that they have a duty to disobey illegal orders. The video was posted last week on X. I'm sure you guys all saw the video. The lawmakers said that threats to our Constitution are coming, and from right here at home, and repeatedly urged military and intelligence community to refuse illegal orders. Trump called their actions seditious and treason. Because Kelly was a senior officer who retired from the Navy, he is required to remain available for recall to the military by law. And the other five lawmakers, Senator Elise Slotkin, Alyssa Slotkin, excuse me, Representatives Representatives Jason Crow, Maggie Goodlander, Chris, Deluzio. Anyway, didn't even realize there's a Deluzio in Congress. Interesting. Chrissy Hollahan are not eligible for recall for military service. It says here in a statement announcing the review, Defense Department seemingly alluded to the video. All service members are reminded that they have a legal obligation under the Uniform Code of Military Justice to obey lawful orders and that orders are presumed to be lawful, the statement said. A service member's personal philosophy does not justify or excuse the disobedience of an otherwise lawful order. And let's be clear, they did not point out, because they were asked multiple times, well, what orders are you referring to? And multiple times they would not say what orders they were referring to when they were talking about disobeying, the fact that they should disobey unlawful orders. Well, exactly what orders are you trying to say are unlawful? They were asked. They wouldn't say. I think one of them, Crow, he actually did allude to some things that might be, like, for example, the shooting of the drug dealers in the boats. That might be, but none of those orders have been deemed unlawful. Not one single order. They insinuated, shall we say, that orders might be illegal. And I think that is seditious. We know exactly what their intention was. They lie about what their intention was, but we know what their intention was, and we know what the effect was. And here's the thing. It may not seem like a big deal now because, well, they didn't really say it. Well, what happens if a service member disobeys a lawful order? What happens if they disobey an order because they thought it was unlawful, because it didn't fit their ideology? So, or it didn't fit what their political party wanted them to do. What if they disobeyed the order? Then that officer or that individual, that military service member, they can go to jail for a very, very long time. They can get removed from the military. They can get court-martialed. They can get tried, and they can spend a significant amount of time in jail for doing what these members of Congress have urged them to do, which is basically not do their job. No, y'all. I mean, you potentially put some people really seriously at risk, and you need to be held accountable for that. So anyway, I hope they do. I wish the president had not decided to, go on his Twitter account and, say that, their crimes were punishable by by death. God, do you really need to do that? Trump, did you really need to do that? Now, you and I know that's just Trump being Trump. He doesn't mean he wants to kill him. He's already said he doesn't want to kill him. Right? He's not encouraging anybody else to kill them. But why give them that ammunition? Why? It's, I don't know. I will continue to say this. The majority of the issues that Donald Trump has, a lot of them are of his own creation. A lot of them can literally be traced back to the tip of his tongue. I wish it wasn't the case, but it is. Love the guy, hate the guy. I love the work. I love a lot of things that he does. I don't always like the way he does it. But I will continue to say this, and Mike will continue to disagree with me. I believe the guy is his own worst enemy. But all that having been said, so far, been the best president of my lifetime. So take the good with the bad, I guess, huh? All right, folks, that now brings us to our parting shots. Parting shots are brought to you by Hog Hosters. Just go to hogholsters.com. Use the discount code The Rundown. All caps, no spaces, one word. Get your Hog Holster today. You might have recalled there was actually a very serious, there was a gang takeover of a Christmas tree lighting event that took place in Chicago. And needless to say, well, according to the Babylon Bee, fake news you can trust, Chicago kicks off holiday season unveiling festive red and green crime scene tape. That's good stuff. By the way, did you hear that MGT is actually going to be leaving? That's Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to be leaving Congress. And according to our friends over at the Babylon Bee, average IQ in Congress expected to rise significantly after MTG resigns. Yeah. You know what's really bad about what she did, though? She made sure that she stayed in long enough to get vested into the congressional pension. So she'll be living on the taxpayer dime from now on, or at least when she retires. And then finally, with Thanksgiving right around the corner, Trump expected to execute all turkeys pardoned by Biden's auto pen. Wow. He pardoned a lot of people. I'm wondering how many of those turkeys are actual people. Turkey. I'm sorry. Funny. Not funny. Too soon? Okay. All right, folks, that brings us to the end of the program. But before we go, let's give one more quick shout out to our sponsors. We've got Hitman Industries, rifle and pistol caliber barrels available for you to purchase at hitmanindustries.net. We got the California Republican Assembly, the conscience of the Republican Party. You will find them at cragop.org. You've got the best in concealed carry tactical holsters available on the market at hogholsters.com. That's helping Americans wear guns. And then finally, the place where you can find all things tactical except the gun. That's uscombatgear.com. All right, folks, that's going to be it for today's program. We're going to do Monday, Tuesday, and maybe Wednesday. I'll let you know. I'll let you know tomorrow if we're going to do Wednesday. Do not expect to see us on Thursday and Friday because we're taking the rest of the week off. We're going to chill. We're going to eat some turkey, some gobble gobble. And then Friday, we're going to work off that gobble gobble, or at the very least, sleep it off. But in any case, we will see you tomorrow on Taco Tuesday. Till then, y'all have fun, stay safe. And once again, we will see you